I am Retro.
I'm Wolf.
And,
This is Doc.
that's Doc.
Nurse B.
Nurse B. They monitor.
They are supervisors.
The judges.
Somewhere around here is Orion.
Yes, who judges the most harshly is the 80-pound husky.
I think he's 75 now.
Is he 75 now?
Like 73, somewhere around there. He's not 80 anymore.
Is the big husky.
Yes.
So I started playing this last night just to kind of get into the game, get the character set up. We are still in the beginning. This is the new version that's on the Switch now that it's out. And yeah, let's go. And you weren't feeling great last night,
Yeah,
so you
no,
were
I
kind of
wasn't.
in the chat, but I don't think you were really here. So for those of you who don't know or weren't watching, yeah, I'm still getting over being sick, but I'm one of those people, like, when I'm sick, like, the more I can try to return to, like, normal routine, the better I start feeling, usually.
For me, I'm like, let me find a hole and stay there.
Me, I have to get back to work. I have to get back to what I'm doing. So, to briefly catch you up, the game starts with you adrift aboard the Ebon Hawk, which is the your spaceship, and it's the same spaceship from KOTOR 1, though you are different characters. I believe 5 years have passed between the events of KOTOR 1 and KOTOR 2. You start out on the ship playing as the astromech droid, and you manage to kind of repair the ship. You get it into the Peragus mining facility that you happen to be nearby. And then you, as your main character, awaken to discover you are inside of a Kolto tank, healing tank. And yeah, somebody tried to kill you. They've tried to give you a lethal dose of medicine, and you get out of the tank, kind of start wandering around. You met Freya, who was somebody we believed to be dead. And now we're trying to explore the facility and figure out what's going on. And that leads us up to where we are right now, because you get to a communications panel and you discover that your droid is alive somewhere else on the station.
Mm-hmm.
And so now we're playing as the droid to try to figure out how we're going to get out of here, while our main characters are somewhere else. What are you laughing at?
It was like somebody has welded it shut on purpose. You will have to bust it open with explosives, and all I could remember was from Borderlands of like, boom, boom, stick. Yeah.
Kind of, but not exactly.
I know, but that was... my brain jumps.
So there's our ship. Oh, and we also learned there was an assassin droid that was on the Ebon Hawk. After the ship landed, there's a cutscene of him breaking out of one of the cargo holds that he was in. So from a purely gameplay standpoint, this game is graphically identical to how it came out in 2004.
Hair for face.
Oh,
There's her face.
there's her face. I will say they did, processors in gaming systems are much faster today than they were 18 years ago. So it definitely plays much smoother as far as processing, transition, save time, load time. All of that is way faster than it was when it came out on the Xbox. But otherwise, we are looking at the exact same game.
Okay. You wanted butt scratches.
I like how he comes over and then he turns and positions himself to where you have no choice but to scratch his butt, like right above his tail.
Yep. He's like, yeah, that's the spot.
Normally he just comes in here and lays down. Oh, the other thing too is that we get here, we find a lot of dead bodies, and there's mining droids that are around that we don't know anything else. Purged the fuel lines, and I found these sonic charges attached inside. I checked the work logs, and only droids have been in the area. I tried to contain contact security as soon as I found the explosive, but can't seem to get a signal through. I removed the remote detonators, and I'll keep the explosives on me until I can put them in the hangar. Okay, so now we have explosives. So this is a little bit.
They have the boom boom.
This is how LucasArts and how Star Wars does ghost stories, right?
Mm.
They stick you on a strangely abandoned space station where everybody is dead. You don't know why. But because it's Star Wars, we don't get like the heebie-jeebie scares because they don't do jump scares. Like that's not like Star Wars' way to do things. Those jump scares. How would you select the one closest to you? That'd be awesome. Alright, shocking. Shocking. And this is one of the longest levels in the game. Right here is the opening prologue. And it was like that in the first KOTOR. In the first KOTOR, you can literally, if you did 100% playthrough, you could literally spend 3 hours on the first planet that you're on, doing everything. Easy. 3 hours. If you were to speed through it, you could do it in like 20 minutes. Yay, doors blown open.
Hey, look, it's your brother.
Yep. He was helping us on the ship when it came in, but it looks like somebody's catastrophically destroyed him. Which that raises the question, am I doing a 100% playthrough on this? 100% light side playthrough? Or am I just gonna play, or should I just play through it?
You were saying earlier that you're technically this game isn't 100% done, so I don't see why to go for 100% if you don't have 100% of the game.
That's true. I could go for as much as is available, and then not... So, okay, alright, I'm gonna stop playing for a sec so I can say this. Because I want to make sure I say what I'm about to say, I'm gonna say correctly. Alright? They are releasing the restored content mod for this game at some point. They haven't said when. They haven't said how long after the release. This was released on the Switch Wednesday. So yesterday. They said after it's released, the restored content mod will be put out. There is a certain point where you can't go back once you get in the game. We're pretty far from it. It's like the last 20% of the game. Once you get there, there's no going back anywhere. So we could continue playing through and work on doing as much of a 100% light side playthrough as possible. And then if the restored content mod is out by then, go back and do things I may not have been able to complete. If it isn't, then just complete the game as much as possible on here. It's a mostly complete game. Okay. There's just a few very minor side quests that you cannot complete. And part of the restored content mod too was graphical. Improved graphics, characters, things like that. Stuff that Obsidian, when they did it, they just, as the saying is, they left it on the cutting room floor. And they cut it out of the game because this was a rush job. So right now, we're trying to figure out how to get into our ship. We're trying to figure out actually how to figure out what's going on and then how to get off the station.
Okay.
So really what I'm doing right now, I'm skipping through the dialogue on this because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to just open up stuff. These are video logs I'm not going to play on here because they're kind of boring to sit and just watch.
Unless you're one of the people that have never played this game before and you are a story person.
That's true, and I am a big story person.
But you've also played this game a lot. I have, and it's really just telling you that it's them talking about how the Ebon Hawks showed up, how because you're on a mining facility, blasters are not allowed because
one wrong blast and this is a fuel depot is essentially what this is. Right?
So kind of why they tell you don't smoke in that gas station.
Yeah.
Did I miss something? Is somebody planning a trip? Because orders were that the hangar was... I don't know what maintenance is up to.
And you also know that somebody here is working against you.
If anyone sends commands to them...
You have no idea who or how. You have learned through talking to the one other living person you have found, who's in your party as the other human, that they know your character. They're still calling you a Jedi. Your character in this is a former Jedi, but they're calling you a Jedi. And there's the Exchange, which is like the Galactic Mafia. They have a bounty on Jedi. So some of the miners here were talking about how to capture you and smuggle you off. But then when you do finally come to, everybody's dead. So you don't know what happened while you were unconscious. The other thing too is
all I just thought of was no touchy the Jedi.
Basically, no touchy. Bad Jedi. Bad. I'm sorry.
You kind of tell that we've watched Emperor semi-recently.
It's even in his course when he does it. So one of where's the groove? One of the elements with this as well is that crap, I just lost what I was gonna say because I got focused on the game. Turn back, I was like, one of the elements up. Loading. It'll come back.
Now, is your loading screen like the bars that fill in, left and right, or is it like the dots in the circle?
It's the dots in the circle.
Because there is a difference. I may be odd.
Oh, I remember what I was gonna say. So one of the elements too that, if you really want to do well in this game, and you want experience, you need to go through every option. Like when you access a computer console, because every time you use a repair skill or anything, you get experience.
Okay.
So every time you activate something, every time you repair something, every time, I'll see if it gives me an option here. There appears to be some sort of metal case laying inside the fuel pipe. So okay, so we'll need to. That's a clue. It's a clue. See if there's an example in this one. Main console. Past day, a series of explosions within the Peragus mine facility has enacted an emergency lockdown. Someone has sliced into fuel depot computers and created a phantom fuel leak, sealing off the area with force fields to contain the blast. Open the emergency hatch on Peragus administration level. Okay. Then we're gonna log out. Oh no! Mr. Bill.
You died.
Died.
So, how long have you been a Jedi? Must be tough, you know. No family, no husband.
No tougher than enduring your false sympathy while you're staring at my chest. I
like that one.
I don't remember that being a conversation option, but I don't usually play female characters. You know, no family, no husband. Now I am.
Are you trying to anger me, or are you just an
idiot? Don't really want to talk about it. So we are playing a light side, and your conversation choices do affect your light side. However, Doesn't mean every conversation choice has to be light side. It just means that at the end of the game, we need to be shifted light side for it to be a light side playthrough.
Hey, I wasn't Hey, what do you know? A little cargo cylinder came through. If he got the turbo lifts working, then we should have a...
Turbo is locked down manually, so I had him open the emergency hatch.
Don't tell me that explosion I heard came from below. There's probably nothing down there except superheated rock and collapsed blast tunnels. You'd be an idiot to...
Maybe, but it's the only way out, and it's better to risk my life than
You're
yours.
either really brave or really crazy. Alright, I'll try to monitor things from up here. And be careful. The only thing moving down there is likely to be mining droids. Not that I care what happens to you or anything.
Then there's that other option.
I just don't want to be trying to get off this rock by myself.
Right?
Not that I care what happens to you or anything, I just don't want to be trying to get off this rock by myself. You have got it, see you soon. Your concern is noted. I'll be going now.
Got it.
I'll keep
See
the
you soon.
comm link open. I may be able to guide you through the tunnels
That
from
sounds
up
like a
here.
familiar phrase,
I don't know
doesn't
if
it?
the signal will
Oh,
hold
yeah.
if you get too
No
deep.
comments necessary. Further, we're gonna go light side.
Okay.
You received a comm link. Okay. Hey, light side points gained. Woohoo! Now, what it will do in here is if you're in a conversation and you give a dark side and light side answers, it'll tell you dark side points gained, light side points gained, and it will tell you what the shift is. Net light side shift or net dark side shift. So it'll tell you when that menu pops up, which to me is amusing. I don't think I have any other armor. This is basically, yeah, I don't. Oh, I have a stealth field generator, which is useful. Can render me invisible. An energy shield. So I can use the Gamorrean War Axe and the Vibro Blade, and we will dual wield. That's awesome. I'm digging it. Okay, the Gamorrean War Axe was not in this game, so I wonder if the restored content mod's been installed, or if it's so. Like loot and containers is a little random. There's some things that are fixed, but it's random. And if you bash open a container, because you can force it open, like if you were a character and you didn't have a security skill, you can bash open a container. And in this one, if you bash open a container, you risk breaking components inside, which could be health packs, stem packs, or whatever. So we need to go back this way. Alright.
Like, when you were explaining all of this to me, all I could think of is, which came first, this game or Dead Space?
This. Dead Space came after.
So Dead Space would be, because it's almost the same thing.
Kind of. Well, in
Where, like,
Dead Space, you're an engineer who goes to figure out why the station went offline.
Yeah, but I'm still saying, like, you're on something, like, the game starts where you're having to go to something where there should be people, but everybody's, like, dead, nobody's talking, you're having to try to figure it out.
Honestly, that's a common trope. That's just
I
like a
know.
story writing, like, staple. You're gonna have that. You can't do...
Kind of like in D&D, you're always starting in the tavern.
Right. Well, here's the thing. You can't tell you almost can't tell a horror story in space without having an abandoned or, like, facility where everybody's been killed. Because we know nothing else about space, so why would there be anything else? You know, we as people are so afraid of being alone, whether it's alone in the dark, emotionally alone, physically alone. We're so terrified of that's why that is a word. That's why that works. So the idea that you're abandoned in space with no hope, no way to reach out to anyone, no communication, no technology, and you're completely alone and you have to survive and escape is terrifying. So what? I can't read his mind without the mask. If you detect anything, signal me. So he is a romance option later in the game if you're a female character. There's a couple of them.
All my head is doing is, okay, so we're gonna mix Dead Space and Mass Effect and Star Wars.
Well, the same people who made the first Knights of the Republic made Mass Effect. Looks like there's some clothes in here. Damn it. I mean, good to hear it.
You running around half naked. It's distracting. I
Just one more thing. I've narrowed down some of the ID signals, and if the numbers are right, you're sharing those tunnels with a battalion of mining droids. You could, if you have. The good thing is,
if you have the skill.
In close combat,
Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Start leveling your character. Use it. You know, kind of a thing. Because you can. If you are a Jedi Guardian backstory in this, unless you deliberately funnel points into your the right skill set at the beginning, you don't have stealth abilities at this point in the game. Your character by default doesn't learn them. It's like being a barbarian. It's just by default that skill wasn't there. I still don't use it because it's not really necessary. Nothing here is so hard that you have to sneak by and not kill. But I'm using the auto leveling for this. I'm just letting the game level the character based upon the pre-programmed design. So that adds a little challenge to it too, because I'm not choosing the force powers and I'm not choosing the skills. I'm gonna let the game completely do that for me, and we're gonna play with whatever the game gives me. It's like a Nuzlocke challenge without.
If you have survey gear or a safety harness, put them on. They'll make spotting and
Okay, stop talking. I don't want any voice now to keep the channel clear. Or no, it'll just be nice. So I can stun droid, and we can just do that. Because I don't have a demolition skill. You can, if you have a demolition skill, you can pick up the mines and keep them and reuse them. And I don't have a demolition skill. So let's see. All right, we gotta go this way. Let's make sure I got everything. Damaged mining droid. I can reactivate him. How many repair parts? I have 9 repair parts. Crap, I don't have enough. Put him in patrol mode. This way he'll just kind of walk around. But he's not going to bother me. But again, because you're using a skill, you get experience whatever that is or not. So even if he's useless, it's worth it just to reactivate him for a little bit of the extra experience points.
Okay.
But I can engage really his weapon system, so he's just going to kind of wander around, but he'll also act as another target for them to do that. He can shoot, but he's not. Like, his accuracy is going to be crap. Let's see.
Get back here. Like, stop shooting that
So this is why I didn't bother with the stealth mode generator. Nothing here is like so difficult that it would really take you out. And you don't get bonus points for sneaking. It's not like Oblivion or Skyrim where you get your stealth skill has increased now. It's, you know.
You don't get that ×2 stealth attack.
And you don't. I mean, you don't move any faster when you're. See, I can go in stealth mode. You move slower.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, okay, why would I do that?
Yeah.
Unless I just, if I was like super low on health or something, I get it. So I just got a strength enhancer. Demolitions +1. No, we're gonna go with that one. I don't really need the mines for anything. They're just, you can have them and you can use them to blow open containers, but it's the same thing. If you blow open a container, it's the same issue as if you bash it open. You can still...
You lose the stuff that's in it.
You risk it. It's a dice roll. That's the thing that happens. This entire game is an RPG. There are dice rolls happening behind the scene that determine hit, miss, damage. Alright, so like to get through here, I need to use energy shields. Or you die. Because you can't take the heat.
You keep hitting the...
Yeah. Well, they're right next to each other. And I keep bumping it.
I mean, it is...
Yeah, I'm not using my... Only because it's I didn't charge it. I have a Pro controller that I'm using, so I'm using the 2 Joy-Cons on this thing. And my hands are massive.
Okay, show comparison.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's... My palm is the entire controller. Stop it. What? If you see these maintenance droids flying around, you need to take them out when you can, because they will heal the other droids while you're actively attacking. And I can also just quickly run through and take a little bit of damage, and I'm just gonna do that, and you'll see why here in a second. Oh no, I'm super low on health, but you see I'm gonna go up a level. See, auto level up, and my health is fully restored. So that's another little tactic in the game, is that if you know your health is low, but you trigger your you can use the level up anytime, even mid-combat. So you can keep going until your health gets low, and then trigger your level up, and it will refill your health mid-combat, and you don't have to use anything, and it happens instantly.
Nice.
Little fun, not really a glitch, just how it's like anything else, where it's like you pause combat mid-game to go, hang on, let me eat some food and drink a potion. Now we can resume.
Yeah.
If so, the central droid controller should be somewhere nearby. Keep an eye out for it. I'm picking up a lot of droids. If you still have a mining energy shield, I'd equip it and switch it on.
Problem is, in these mining droids, they're mining droids, they're not combat droids. So their accuracy by nature is low.
Sure. If you have a stealth field gen.
Okay, they're...
Sensor. It must be maintenance.
Try to repair the mining droids.
Be careful of those droids.
And sometimes in conversation too, it'll have in parentheses persuade or whatever, and that's using a skill, and you get experience for that too if you succeed on a success. See, there is a officially licensed Star Wars tabletop RPG. It came out when I was a kid, and I think they took a lot of element. I haven't played it in since I was a kid, honestly. I wouldn't be surprised if they took a lot of conceptual elements from that and put it into how things work. But the class that everybody chose on Discord is, for me to be a Jedi Sentinel. So there's Jedi Guardian, Jedi Sentinel, and Jedi Counselor. If you're Jedi Guardian, your focus is combat. If you're Jedi Counselor, your focus is the Force. If you're Jedi Sentinel, you're a balance of the two. Call up droid command functions. Let's see.
You're like the Jedi Jack of all trades.
So I have 2 computer spikes. So I can cancel all droid mining functions on organics. But we're not going to do that because that'll stop them from attacking me, but I won't get the experience for destroying them. And as I said, they're not hard. We are going to reassign them
Get those sealed doors open.
to open sealed doors. The default cause to open all locked doors on the level. Do it. Continue.
Open. Hi, buddy. Hi, Bill.
Access fuel containment. Shut down containment fields. Suddenly you die of massive radiation poisoning. No. But yeah, the fastest way through here, if you were speedrunning this, would be to use that and then shut down shut them all down, and you can walk right by them, and they're a non-issue.
Right.
But these are not, of all of the problems.
As long as you don't miss.
Yeah. Of all of the like enemies in this level, we are not gonna have any kind of issue until we get closer to where we're actually leaving. That's gonna be problematic. Because then you find out who's really behind this, and you have to deal with it. So the game lulls you into this false sense of security by giving you these mining droids to take out. And
It's like, oh, this is easy. It's fine.
but if I were the Jedi consular option, you're at a real disadvantage because that's the class that relies more heavily on the Force, and at this point, you're a former Jedi who's been disconnected from the Force. So you don't have any strong Force skills, and your combat skills are not.
Or like non-existent.
Yeah, if people really wanted to make this hard on me, they would have voted for me to be the Sentinel. Otherwise,
No, the council.
or the consular. Otherwise, this isn't going to be a problem. Now, the next question, when we do finally get off of this station, it's going to trigger a conversation with somebody that discusses what color my lightsaber used to be.
Yeah, picking up some strange readings. What are you doing down there?
Why are you stopping me now? Trust me, whatever you detected, it's probably my fault. How much time do I have?
Keep it contained until you get the turbo lift.
Not much
Unlocking down
longer.
the turbo lift
So it's an RPG, which means that everything will trigger when you get to a certain point. Doesn't matter how much time it is. Doesn't matter how many days have passed. It'll trigger when it needs to. So yeah, what'll happen is there will be a conversation that triggers that discusses what your lightsaber color used to be, and that will show up in a cutscene later, and you'll even get a chance to get that crystal for that lightsaber later. So we're gonna end up with a couple options. We are doing a light side gameplay, so red will not be an option we can choose. It is an option you can choose in the conversation to say it's red, but we aren't going that route.
Right.
And it doesn't make you dark side to say that. It's just only dark side characters have red sabers typically. So we're gonna have a couple different options. One of the options is, I believe, silver is an option, as well as a unique color of green. But we'll deal with that when we get there. But I will let you decide what that is.
You can also put it in the Discord.
Well, I may get there tonight. At the rate that I'm going through this, we may get there tonight. I'm used to having longer load scenes and lag. Like, one of the reasons this isn't more heavily populated is because the game would become in the original format, would become very laggy. It used to, like, have a 2-second pause whenever you would, like, notice something. Like, see how that just showed up there with the red thing?
Yeah.
It used to have, like, a brief pause on the original Xbox when it came out. That's what this was. This was an original Xbox game. And it had lag. So I'm not used to it being this fast. Whatever. It's 4 points of damage. We're also going to get upgrade materials so we can upgrade our weapons and stuff at different points. That is a mechanic that 1 and 2 had. You can upgrade your gear, your armor, and your weapons, your lightsabers. You can custom build lightsabers, choosing the crystals that'll give it different abilities. You can put crystals in that make it stronger against machines or stronger against organics. And I know I'm giving you tons of information that you probably don't care about, but I did put the GNN Greats Facebook page. I did put a poll up the other day asking if there were if force powers were inherently light side or dark side, or did it depend on the user? And there's been a wide array of responses to that. When more people come in the chat later, I'll repose the question. But do you have any thoughts?
Not really. You damaged it with the explosion.
No, I need to. It's already damaged, but it can only be opened with an explosion. So this is one of those where if I had one of those mines, it'd be useful. So that'll be one. That's a container I won't be able to open. Because I mean, you see Darth. I'll give you an example. Darth Vader uses Force Grip to choke people, right? And you would go, well, that's clearly dark side. And
but
then
you can also use Force Grip to grab somebody if they were falling from a cliff.
correct. We also see Luke in Return of the Jedi when he goes to Jabba's palace. He chokes a Gamorrean guard out to get in. Well, was Luke dark side for doing that? Uses the same ability. You know, if you're using Force Lightning to shock somebody or Force Lightning to charge a generator, you know, I go with it's the use.
Answer. I am a survivor of the Harbinger, just as you were, Master.
So this is the droid that we see come out of the cargo bay on the ship.
You are the only organic which I may now serve.
And
The assassin droid.
he is an assassin. If his class, they're called HK droids. His class of droids, they're designed to be assassin droids. Tell me everything that happened.
Irritated answer. Oh, Master, it is such a long, dull,
Why don't you tell me anyway?
hesitant explanation. That has been the subject of considerable discussion since our arrival here, Master. Many have attempted to claim you and this unit as salvage. I was crudely interrogated concerning our brief history together on board the...
See, how come I don't remember any of this?
It is possible you were incapacitated and locked in the well-shielded cargo compartment.
Okay. I've heard enough. I'll be going now. Alright, so this is like the main maintenance officer. We're gonna look at him. Orion has this treat ball and he's knocking it around.
He's like a
in
cat.
here. Yeah, he is. It's like the one toy he plays with.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't play with anything else, but he plays with his treat ball. Mainly because, you know,
There's treats.
there's treats.
But it's also the only toy that has survived since he was a puppy.
Oh, and it's a hard rubber ball with a hole in it. It's hard to...
No, I remember we had gotten one of those like treat puzzle things where like you could put treats in, but then the dog had to do something to like be able to flip the lever to get to the treat. He wouldn't do that. Instead, he figured out the soft point on the edge and broke it so that the whole thing fell apart.
Nice.
He was like, I'm not doing that. This is where it breaks. And then he just helped himself to all the treats.
Answer. Only the
That works.
That's what I was like, you're too smart for your own good, dog.
Theory. Warning. I am
Then again, he was only like 6 months old and he figured out how to climb the 6-foot privacy fence.
weary resignation. Very well, Master.
I had a dog growing up that could jump a 6-foot privacy fence.
Like he wouldn't jump it. He figured out how to climb.
Condescending musing. Conjecture. Explanation. Condescending explanation. Oh, yes, Master.
But he kind of scared me because I didn't know he had grabbed his tree ball, so when he brought it in here, all I heard was a dunk, 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 and I had seen him come behind you, and I was like, what the? Oh, it's his tree ball.
Musing.
Okay.
Condescending explanation. Oh, placating.
Yeah.
Answer. Of course, ma'am. Proud answer. sir.
HK series
I am
protocol
HK
droids. This is
series
protocol droid.
This mob has
They're
been- I
assassin
am
droids.
fluent in over s-
Oh, protocol. I only know protocols. The protocol of death.
What is that from?
I don't remember.
Out of the blue, you remember that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a protocol droid. Protocol of death. I don't know where that came from.
I like it. I want that on a t-shirt. Hey, I went up another level. This is why I didn't deactivate all the droids. These guys can be kind of a pain, but they're not bad. Cool. Bash the door open.
I guess you have to explode that one.
There we go. Now the security
Hello.
check just failed the first one. Because it's also on a dice roll. So I don't need to open that door. I don't even need in this room. I just wanted the experience of killing that droid.
But who is more surprised, you or the droid, that the door opened?
You know, if the droid could be surprised, it probably would be.
Because what most of these droids don't know is that there's us droids on here. Oh gosh, you're not a droid.
One of them looks at you and just goes, "These are not the droids you're looking for." There we go. Thank you.
Finally. You done with your treat ball?
When the dock officer, someone ordered it. If anyone tried. The maintenance check on the
He
security.
entertains
I
me
can't
too
help.
much.
I take security's wrong.
No such thing.
Hey there, big boy. Big boy. Oh, they can kind of see him.
Kind of. Puppy.
He's like, hi. Just the top of his head. What?
So we just found out that there's two ways out of here. I can either destroy that console, which will open the door, or we can go the route which gives us a little more experience. One of the things that I found was a sonic imprint sensor, which would allow me to record a voice. And this protocol droid can mimic voices. So we can use it to get the override code from him. We could destroy the console and it will do what we want it to do, but this gives us some more experience.
Recitation.
Airlock.
You would need to unlock the maintenance console.
Maintenance call.
Condescending explanation. Musing. Conjecture. Explanation.
So you already have the code. Oh, speaking
Answer. Master. Of course.
hang on.
Answer. I heard. Recitation.
Oh yeah.
5 droids, burning through the outer door. They're forcing their way into the bay. Please, someone it! Oh, no, they're through! Oh, my leg! They're going through my leg! Oh, stop! Stop, please!
Addendum is
can play back his voice. Can you speak the voice code? Believe. Persuade the sonic sensor. This is where you play to his ego. The fact you can mimic voice is pretty impressive. What would it sound like if you did speak the code?
Proud answer. Master, I believe I have a recitation. Maintenance control voice print ID R1B5. There. Was that sufficient?
Yes. I think that's it. Were you speaking to yourself? Nope, never mind. Gotta go. What? Are you amused?
I'm kind of amusing myself because as you're making your person move, I'm making Doc go like back and forth in my lap.
Alright.
This is what happens when you have someone with like ADD, ADHD, and you ask them to sit still for a while. They just start.
Doesn't work.
They just start doing.
So now we need to put on the spacesuit because we are doing a spacewalk. Actually, it should just trigger automatically.
And if not, you're dead.
This is amusing. Yeah, if not, whoop, goodbye. Yep, there it is. Yeah, it's pretty great. It's pretty great. This is funny.
Trying to not laugh too much.
Oh no, no, it's okay. You can laugh. It's okay.
I lost your signal after you left the mining tunnels. Now
Except I'm picking you up on the exterior of the facility. On the asteroid surface. That can't be
There he is. There you are. Right outside the observation window.
what are you doing out there?
I need
It's
to reach
like,
the miners.
Hi.
You're crazy, even for a Jedi. Look, you need to get out. What little is left of the facility's venting systems have gone active, most likely from the explosions in the mining tunnels. They're venting Peragus fuel deposits into space through the exterior vents. I can't. I'm locked out of the main system. The vents look like they've been purposely rerouted to vent the gases to the exterior. And only in the last few minutes. It's almost as if... Now what now? I don't believe this. There's a ship coming in, sending a docking code. I have a bad...
Done! A little bit. That was like a lot of dead people.
Regardless, dead something.
Very dead.
Yes. Dead.
Maybe dead.
Somehow he's
Probably because he's the cause.
the way he looks like he should be dead.
He has a very so there's not a lot of the maintenance logs and stuff that I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play the ones that pertain to there because he's honestly one of the most terrifying characters in the Star Wars universe,
Okay.
in my opinion.
Pterodactyl ship.
Yeah, my neck pops a lot.
So your neck's still attached?
I think so. It's questionable. Doesn't always feel like it. Now we can finally get down to where everybody, or we've been trying to reach this whole time, has been anybody in the dormitory section, because everywhere else people are dead and abandoned, right? Hey, look, more things to kill.
More dead bodies.
And more dead bodies. This does not bode well. Remember, folks, if you find yourself on an abandoned station in space,
Well, that droid seems
as much as possible.
I mean, you opened it up, and then he, like, backed up and did one of those, and then started shooting.
Let's see. Yay.
Locker. Chemicals. What kind of chemicals?
They let you make med packs. And like various like stem packs and stuff. Use the workbench to upgrade. Do I have anything to upgrade? I don't. Oh, I can put a better handle on that. And we're going to create. It's like computer spikes and stuff. I don't really need anything there. We are going to better mining shield on. Damage immunity 30% to cold, 20% to fire. Reflex package. Cool. It's fire suppression. Automated fire extinguisher.
I was like, why did you just get spiky?
How are you missing it?
You missed. He was 3 feet in front of you.
Mulan, the only Disney princess with a body count in the thousands. Yeah, I finally got it.
Never give up.
So when you're doing 100%, there's not really, like, you don't have many quests or side quests at this point yet. You're just trying to get through. What really makes, like, 100%, in my opinion on this, is doing the little things. Like, yeah, the faster I would have been to destroy the console, but you take an extra couple minutes to get more experience, and you do it the long way. Grenade! Cool. Let's see. Reroute the main console systems. In dormitory lockdown. That's all we're gonna do there. We're slightly more than halfway through. Like this whole first section. Make a pretty good time. gas, so I believe I have a way to turn it off here. Camera controls, mess hall, dormitory west. There we go. Shut down the ventilation system. Hey, Darth Malgus 12345 Thank you for the follow. Hey, if you subscribe, you get to see us try to get something from the unicorn crane machine. Could be salt. Could be sweet. Could be sour. Who knows?
I'm like, I gotta move out of the way to
But
show that.
thank you for the follow, my friend.
Yes, thank you.
All right.
You've upset Orion because you've now blocked his escape.
Oh, I'm sorry, Orion.
You still have so much space.
Yeah, it's not like you can't get out of the room, dog.
He's like,
It's kind of like a cat when they have like a hole this small in the
their
middle
food
of their
bowl.
food bowl.
like, I shall soon starve to death. Let me sing the song of my people.
It's about right.
He just wants to be.
He just wants to be here with us. Hi, bud.
He's like, I will force my way.
He's now forced himself underneath the desk. Everything is on. Yes.
To be at our feet. You are not a tiny rat dog.
His mind, he is.
Uh,
He thinks he's a lapdog. He really does. He has his moments.
yeah. There are times that he knows his size, and there's others that it's just gone. Hi.
Guess what did you catch?
This may be the big. Just finished helping. The transmission get.
Sir, couldn't we contact them?
No good. Even if the. We just took an inventory of our supplies. We've got enough emergency
COVID.
rations in the dormitories to last.
That
almost a month.
sucks.
But with all the problems
Yeah,
in the
we-
facility, I
we
don't know how long
know
we'll last.
Firsthand how bad that
Jedi,
sucks.
Maybe she could.
Yep.
No.
We know
Something in that damn tank.
fourth hand.
Someone's played us.
We've had it 4 times
Since
each.
Quarter and his crew are
Yeah.
locked in here with us, it's pretty clear.
Hope it's not
who
too
it
bad
was.
for you, Malgus.
Catch up with that
And
Mandalorian
you're still
by the summer.
recovering.
At least the
Yeah, I'm
air
still
scrubs are
recovering from
working,
it.
even though they're tied into the-
It knocked out my lungs
What's happening
pretty
to the
good.
ventilation system? This
I Okay, so that's how they died.
Yep. Somebody gassed him. I really do hope it isn't too bad for you, though. I mean, I know some people get it pretty bad, others have very mild symptoms. Just, fluids, rest.
Yeah. I know this last one, pain-wise, wasn't as bad, but lingering health has been bad.
Yeah, you're pretty close to back to normal, but no, I'm still dealing with a rough cough at times, and my breathing and stamina are definitely knocked down quite a bit. I used to like feel bad for like looting the dead, but I'm like, they're not using it anymore.
Yeah.
From the hips down his sword, and you feel like you swallowed razors. That's about right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're glad you're alive, and dealing. You know, I know it's a process that sucks. But and we're glad you're here with us. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're welcome to hang out here as long as you like, my friend. We're chatty people. Quite chatty.
You're a bit more chatty than me, though.
I just now realized I have for speed. What is happening? Really, Nintendo? How did you make the graphics for that worse? How? Why? Can we clip this, please? This is going to my rant article.
Okay, 104. Sorry.
You can turn off motion blur. I shouldn't have to! This is the Nintendo Switch, for crying out loud. The graphics should not get worse. It's not like this is a PC where it doesn't understand the graphics card capabilities. It's the Switch! Why is it worse than it was on the original Xbox?
I'm just gonna laugh at that.
I don't care if it's a port! It's been out for 18 years! They just now ported it!
Your ears always were too big, Cian. Come on, if the maintenance... And shut that damn data pad off.
You have had 18 years to not have that problem. We have the technology.
Clearly. Why are you still missing? How many times do you have to miss?
Grenade! There.
Still. How many times did you miss?
I don't want to talk about it. I'm just not counting. It's depressing. I mean, I didn't exactly choose the pure combat class, so we're not doing too bad overall. Looting the dead.
You literally started your little doots, and all I got was da 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 da. Da, da, da. I just had that go in my head.
So. Alright. We are nearing the end of Peragus. No, don't switch weapons. Open the container. Thank you. Stop it! So use the lab station. Let's make some med packs. Perfect. Oh, I need 20. I don't have that. That's okay. Blur! Okay.
Okay, all that reminds me of is like the TVs back in the 90s where if it just wasn't on the cable correctly, you could still see what you were watching on TV, but you had all that static.
Yeah.
That's all that reminds me of.
Yeah, there's no motion blur option to turn off on this. That's just what we're dealing with now. It's the code backwards. I just remember that. 7, 5, 13, 17, 3. Okay. 7, 5, 13, 17, 3. If you watch all of the holologs, it tells you that basically it got changed to that. But these guys here are the ones that are dead in the room, are the ones who were plotting to sell you to the exchange.
Emergency lockdown overridden.
That is Kreia.
I have felt a disturbance. Our enemy.
Then let's
We need to make our
go.
way to the docking area on this level. I fear the airlock has already opened, and if so, we must be on our guard. If we cannot reach...
All right. For an energy shield. Hey, G-Beast, welcome to the chat.
Hi.
Alright, so we're dealing with a new threat now. These guys!
You'd be like, but if you were supposed to be Jedi, wouldn't you sense that they're behind you?
Well, yes. And also no, just because you remember your character has more or less severed their connection to the Force.
Yeah, but isn't Kreia supposed to still be
Well, you don't really know Krea's backstory, but yeah, you know that she has a Force connection. You don't really know. We don't know her backstory at this point. All right, for those of you prone to motion sickness, have fun.
What in space is going on? Who's this? Another Jedi?
I'm using that from now
What,
on.
did you guys
What in
suddenly start
space?
breathing when I wasn't looking?
Sorry, I mean spit on you. Take too long to explain. We have to leave now.
All right.
I hope your talent for understatement is offset by your skill with the blood.
Yeah, and I'm also good at running and drinking, Your Majesty. And even if you two aren't big friends of the Republic, that warship's the only way up. Good thing we have a clear run to the ship.
Threat. Master, perhaps I did not enunciate clearly the last time we spoke. I suggested that you should shut down, stay put, and wait for rescue.
No, you were clear. I don't listen to assassin droids.
Assassin and droid is such a crude term. The function I perform has been referred to as wanton slaughter. I prefer to see...
Alright, whatever still means murder to me. Are the one who killed all the miners in the medical bay?
Indignant answer.
Miners tend to place you in jeopardy. I
Mine is
can
intended
that place.
after reprogramming the mining droids to mine any organics they perceived. Then a series of flawlessly timed explosions drove the miners into their dormitories, where I was able to gas them all at once without wasting time hunting them through the mining tunnels. I then administered a large dose of sedatives to the remaining miners in the med bay, enough to kill them, but ensure you slept peacefully. Of course, against my calculations, you awakened from your tank prematurely. I am ashamed by the inconvenience that caused.
Alright, enough of something left. We're just gonna go right into this. Switch weapons. Another thing you can do to speed up the use of, like, speed up the use of items because it does take a turn. You can go into your menu and you can use them that way in each round. And you don't lose the on screen, so you can move faster, and you don't risk dying before. Away! Cool.
You've also missed hitting.
Why are you counting? Stop counting. It's not fun.
I find it funny because all that goes in my head is Mushu from Mulan. Like, he's 3 feet in front of you.
Next time we play D&D, I'm gonna remember that when you start missing things. Okay?
Okay.
Don't criticize the dungeon master that's sitting to your right. Yay! Another place where everyone's dead. This would be
Something
an
is
excellent
wrong.
time to
You
save.
sense no one on board?
Everyone here has been slain, yet there are few signs of battle. No carbon scoring, no blast of fire.
Then what are we doing on this ship? You two are supposed to be Jedi? You two are the...
Maybe you'd like it back in your cell.
Maybe I would.
We cannot... If the assassin machine...
Okay, solid fuel deck when did a fuel pipe enter the fuel depot
Look,
behind the
I don't mean to... You'll need the orbital drift...
Okay. How did the ship...
Well, of
okay,
course
so we have to
they-
get the orbital drift charts off the bridge.
Well,
That is a... Our enemies...
So now is where influence matters.
when you make decisions that certain party members are prone to liking, you will gain or lose influence. And then as you go light side or dark side, the more influence you have with that character, it'll shift their alignment too.
Okay.
Very well.
So I just gained her influence. So she wants to be treated almost like she's, like you respect her opinion and her thoughts. So that's kind of a key thing with her. Atten wants to be taken seriously when he says, hey, this is an issue. Sometimes, though, you'll have people in your party where your decision that'll make one happy, you'll lose influence with another.
Right.
Now would be an excellent time to save the game. Considering the last time I saved was when we started.
Right.
Now we just systematically go through the ship. We don't need to check the briefing logs, because they just kind of talk about basically, this is the ship, you were on this ship. When the droid was talking about how you were on the Harbinger and how you ended up here, this is the ship that you were on when everything went down. And somehow you ended up on the Evan Hawk. Now the ship is shown back up. And you're not sure
Now you got like a double kill on that.
Yeah, that worked.
You're just like kill and then kill the guy behind you.
How are you doing tonight, GVs? How you guys doing? Okay, so that takes us to the bridge so we can get off the ship. Motion sickness! Not much going on there. What? Getting to you?
I just don't like seeing that. It's like, why?
Right? Alright, so we got the orbital drift charts. It doesn't really make you that much faster.
Not really.
It does some, but it's not enough that it's worth the headache that it's going to cause.
Right. And I already had a headache.
That is the first time in a long time I've had a migraine that actually induces nausea. Like, I don't get migraines. I don't get headaches, and today I had one that actually induced nausea. It sucked.
I never had a migraine that sent me to the ER before. And that was just a few days ago.
Almost makes me wonder if there's something viral.
I don't know.
COVID, round 5. It's like Rambo. It can stop anytime it wants, quit making the movies. COVID 5. Back to the Register means still being in combat. Defense bonus 1. We're going to put on the light combat suit. We're going to give him the minor uniform, and we're going to give her, even though it doesn't change, her outfit will never change. She's the one of the characters, her outfit will never change, but she can still get the bonuses of what you give her. Oh, I didn't even look to see what blaster pistol and mining laser. It's good for him. Give him damage immunity versus sonic. Still, that works. Give him an energy shield. Breath masks are useful because if you're in a room where there's poison, you can't be poisoned. It's like just wearing a gas mask.
Just if you ever put a gas mask on, one way to freak out Whovians. Are you my mummy?
I don't get the reference. Not a Whovian. I mean, I like Doctor Who, but I'm not a... Don't get the reference. Sorry.
Any Whovian that watches it would get it.
Alright. We have our drift charts. We can now... People are dead. We can now leave.
People that were dead prior and the people that were not.
Tom Baker was the best.
I did like him.
Tom Baker was good from what I've seen. I'm not a big Who fan. Only due to not really having the opportunity to really watch it, except for like what reruns I caught on BBC America, kind of a thing. David Tennant's my personal favorite, but I pretty much like everything David Tennant's ever done.
You have to also view it because Doctor Who did take a break, so they break it apart from the original series, which Tom Baker's part of the original series, to the reboot, which is where Christopher Eccleston took over as the Doctor, was the reboot. And so that's where sometimes for Doctor Who, they're like, well, this one's my favorite Doctor from the original, and this is my favorite Doctor since the reboot.
This was your room?
We do not have much time.
I think Christopher Eccleston's a good actor. I'm not sure he was right for Who, but he was a good actor. As an actor, he's a good actor. The things I've seen of him.
Damn thing's stuck.
Well, nobody has a skill level high enough for it. Moving on.
Well, I mean, also, even though, you know, he wasn't there for that long.
He only did one season.
Yeah, he only did one season. But at the same time, he did a good job.
Everyone down!
For the reboot, to have people interested to come back and watch.
To keep coming back.
And at the same time, you have an actor, David Tennant, willing to take that role after. I can pretty much just guarantee that David Tennant, because he was already pretty much known for a lot of other things, that if he didn't think that the show was good enough, he would not have accepted it.
He was virtually an unknown at the time. He was a stage actor. It's what put him on the map. Because that was, I mean, he was 32, 33 when he did it. And it was before he did Harry Potter. But he was a long time Doctor Who fan. In fact, he married one of the Doctor's daughters. I think it was it Tom Baker's daughter that he married? I don't know who it was that he married. But he married one of the original Doctor's daughters. Which, I mean, it's hilarious that the Doctor married the Doctor's daughter. Med bay. Hey, this looks like a normal, casual med bay. Oh, what's this? A shattered console. So this is my tank. So when you go into a Kolto tank, it's healing. So you get fully healed. This is where I'm gonna play the medical logs. That kind of explain who that guy is and why I think he's like so scary. Check medical logs. Here we go.
Something's wrong. Ever since we picked up that Sith firefight in the region, crewmen haven't been reporting for their shifts, and I can't reach people on the comm. The strange thing is, I keep feeling like someone's watching us here in the ship, but I can't see anyone. I don't like this. Checking the survivor from the Sith vessel. I'm not sure whether he's alive or dead, or what's even keeping him together. His flesh is cracked and scarred, and I'm registering several thousand fractures in his skeleton, as if each bone was splintered repeatedly over time, and then put back together. Judging from the scar tissue, I believe these wounds took place before his death. If so, he must have been in constant pain. I have no idea what's been keeping him together. This is the medical officer. The soldiers sent to the medical bay have just died. I don't know where the subject went. I think he's gone to find more of the crew. With him are Sith. They just appeared right out of thin air, like they were wearing stealth generators, but I think they were always on board. When we stopped to pick up that freighter, they must have come on board the Harbinger. I have no idea how many are on the ship. There could be only a few, or as many as 100. And with communications cut off, we can't call for help. I think that thing in the tank was a Sith Lord. Alive the whole time, waiting for something to wake him up.
Camera recordings. So you essentially, and later on, you find out basically he's held together with nothing but hate and rage. It's the only thing that keeps him alive, is pure hatred and rage connecting him to the Force to hold his body in one piece. So it's like, yeah, he's a bit intense.
A little bit. Especially knowing that she said that he has over 1,000 fractures, so it's like every bone has more than
one.
Yeah.
So even if I don't need to, I open every door because it reminds me of like where I've been and where I should go. Like, okay, if I see an open door, I'll go through there. It's like there's a way to download the maps ahead of time for areas like the computer console, but I don't because if I need to look at the map, I'll change it where I have it. If you download the map, it'll automatically show you. So it's like, okay, it's part of the map. And that's like every game that gives you that option. I would rather not. Let's see if I have enough to hack this. Yay. Storage room. The first KOTOR wouldn't tell you if something was empty or not when the cursor went over it. So there were times I would go into rooms and I would end up like rechecking the same container a few times because I would be like, oh wait, it's empty. And so that was something they put in here. So now it shows like, hey, don't waste your time.
Yeah. Which is nice that they put that in.
Oh, quite convenient. Like I said, there were some good improvements they made to the game. Like, why they didn't use the Maureen War Axe this early in the game, I have no idea.
I like how, okay, the way it looks is like as if all those droids are just like mourning the death. Like, we shall show respect to our fallen one.
Kind of. Kind of. Now that you've said that, that's all I can see.
You're welcome.
Alright. I know you're using that to disguise your yawn, but when you picked it up, you picked him up so you were just pointing towards me.
I know.
Oh, okay, I know that was deliberate.
I have a bad feeling about this.
Staring at you, then getting him to turn and
Don't you
look
feel
at the
it?
camera.
Something's gonna get real wrong. All right, trust me. When it comes to staying alive.
Yeah, when he gets a bad feeling, it's recommended to save your game. This is about as flashy flash as it gets, so I don't know if it's going to be an issue for you. I can let you know when I've passed it.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Okay. The dog is licking my foot.
This battle is mine alone. I am not defenseless.
He cannot kill what he cannot see, and power has blinded him long ago. Run! I shall be along shortly.
Okay.
If you want to make the sacrificial play, you go right ahead.
It just reminds me of the old blind woman in Fable.
Kind of, yeah. Believe it or not, we are nearing being off of the Peragus mining facility. It's about as far as I'm going to get tonight, is we're going to get off of Peragus and off of all this. Let's see. Upgrade. Lots of things I can upgrade. Don't have repair parts for that. Don't have anything for that. Okay. No, let's definitely upgrade. I didn't even realize everything that I had gotten. Let's see. She can wear that. He can wear military suit. That's useful. That works. Cool. What?
I think that just makes her butt look bigger.
Just a bit. I wonder if the game developers intended that. It's almost like a bunch of men worked on it.
Yeah.
So we're going back to the facility through the fuel lines to get off of this ship.
maintenance procedure. So that shuts off the flow of gas, basically. It's the only way to get around the sealed door into the hangar.
It's like, fine.
I sense you, my master. Faint, weak.
Your senses betray you, as you betrayed me.
After all that's happened, still you live. You are difficult to kill.
For one as limited as you, perhaps. To have fallen so far and learned nothing, that is your failing.
The failure is yours. No longer do your whispers crawl within my skull. No longer do I suffer beneath teachings that weaken us. And now you run in search of the Jedi. They are all dead, save one. And one broken Jedi cannot stop the darkness that is to come.
Perhaps. We shall see.
What's wrong? Are you all right? Damn it, hold on. It's only a little farther. Don't give up on me now. What happened to you?
I feel like that audio never matched in the game.
Yeah.
I feel like that was different.
You look fine. Come on. It's a utility droid. Looks like it's been hit with an ion charge.
Did you survive? I like how it says that, like you know what he's saying. And there's no influence. I mean, you can gain influence with the droid, but it doesn't really do anything. Because droids can't be light side, dark side. So.
I hear you.
Hey, I'll take that. Thank you.
Your skill is too low.
Disable it? Yeah, we can disable it. That works. Okay, now to kill more things. So, one of the mods that people have installed to make this whole section easier, there's a way on the PC version install a mod so that you start with a lightsaber. Yeah, in Kreia 2, they even designed like the own lightsaber unique to her, and you get that as a usable object. There's also a way that you can install a mod that will skip this section of the game altogether, because universally, once you've played this once, you're not really interested in ever playing this section of the game again. It's not that fun of a section. There's no real good or bad choices to make. There's no side quests. It's just running through very linear, in a linear line. Just
what is it? Why are we
not really doing anything, you know? And once you kind of know what you're dealing with and what you're up against, then that's the whole mystery of the first part of this game. Once you know that, you don't really want to play that again. I will say it is more bearable when you have somebody else to play, like somebody else here with you. It's more bearable. Because then you can commentate.
Which I'm kind of helping with.
You are. You are. You're at least listening to me rant about the game and things that are Star Wars. If I were by myself, then I would just sound insane doing that.
But you are insane.
Yes, but I don't always sound it. There's a difference.
The other thing that I like too is that experience is universally gained, so that even if you have, because you can only ever have 3 people in your party at a time, but even when you have other people, when they come into your party next, it'll auto dump all of that experience on them, so they'll suddenly be up at the same level you are.
Okay.
Which is very, very useful, because then it, you know, you play some RPGs where it's like if you don't have that party member with you, then they never level up. Pokemon was like that for a long time. You only leveled who was being actively used, where now it's...
And then you finally got the EXP share.
And then now it's just built into it, where everybody kind of gets a little bit of experience. You know, so it's...
I just remember with the older Pokemon games for Game Boy, since first learning the clone trick.
Oh, yeah.
And making sure that the Pokemon that you're cloning was holding the
So then they all got it. I used the clone trick in Gold and Silver to start with all 3 starters. But that's the only time that I ever use it, is just to have all 3 starters. So now we're back here, which is where our droid friend was originally shut down. So now we've come full circle. Shut down. Well, shot with an ion blast and dumped. So now we're at the docking bay. We're trying to get off the ship still. And he's more or less cleared a lot of the way for us. We just have a few droids to deal with that have shown up this time. But if you don't, one of the other reasons that I'm taking the route to get the most experience that I am, is if you don't, it is possible to get yourself into an unwinnable position in the game, where every time you're going to be in combat that you have to deal with, and every time you go through it and reload it, you're going to die because you don't have the experience to survive it, basically. So it's possible to get into an unwinnable situation.
Just say the word. I hear you.
Which sucks because the situation I'm thinking of happens at least a third of the way into the game. So it's like you could be spending hours into it only to get because you took the fast route and you didn't build up your character at all. That yeah, and then you have no choice but to start over. Alright, place here. Cool, that's open. Hanger logs. Access docking. Takeoff procedures. Transmit the orbital drift charts. Download them. Main functions. Don't need to do that. Okay, now we're all set. Hey, look, I gained another level. I've been gaining levels left and right here. Level 7, yay! There were rumors of making the Knights go public free, and it never got confirmed. But I don't know. And I think the reason it never really got greenlit was because 2 was nowhere near the success of 1 because
it wasn't completed.
It wasn't completed. It wasn't a finished game.
it angered the people.
But it has its own cult following. I mean, it had enough followers that people wanted to go in and make their own restored content. So, it wasn't 100% universal. Decon console. Let's see, parts. Let's see. So down at the bottom, you can see I've got where my spikes and my parts are. Reroute the main console system. Access remote camera. Decontamination chamber. I've got enough spikes to shut down the gas. That's good. Turn the main console. Open the door. This is the other reason why it's good to go the route to do as much exploration as possible, because parts and spikes are like even more important in this one. But the other thing too is, depending on what the security skill is of your character that you're using, will determine how many parts and spikes it needs. If I had been playing active as the droid when I engaged the computer, it would have been less, because he has a higher skill.
Right.
So that does make a difference. What character you're physically using to access something, it does make a difference. Almost out of here. Get some last bit of loot. We'll get to as far as where, I guess next time I'll put a thing in the Discord, and next time we'll find out what color saber my character should be. Is ultimately how far we'll take it. We'll just get off the station tonight and
We can have the fans pick your saber color.
Yep. Once aboard, you'll be leaving for good. Enter. In their chrome armor.
And a couple of them have boarded the ship.
It's inevitable.
defeat all of them? But then it was saying like
Now you're seeing the frustrations of how when this game officially released.
all the going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth.
Well, normally not this broken, but this is fairly broken.
You're like stuck in a time loop.
Let's do this. Let's load the autosave and see if that triggers a fix. Let's document this as well. 155. Oh, yep. Hey, now we're suddenly past it. Now she's suddenly on board. How did it survive?
No time.
Welcome to the frustration. Where they're shooting us as we're fleeing a mining facility full of explosive chemicals.
If they hit us, we're dead. But if they keep missing us, we're dead. It's great odds. Somebody shut that trash compactor up.
Alright.
I'm doing all I can, and that's not enough. What'd you do to make the... Now, either they hit us and destroy us, or they hit an asteroid and make the whole field go nova.
So this is, we have a light side and a dark side option here. We can either fire on an asteroid and cause an explosion, or we can try to keep our distance. So the light side option...
What are the asteroids? They can be destroyed by us as well as them, can they?
That'll take out the whole field, the colony, and maybe us.
Then we die here. Choose now.
Somebody might still be alive. Still, there's got to be another way. Keep evading them until we clear the field, and they'll try to jump to hyperspace. Yeah.
Hold on!
It's what you do to the prior
now
to
that we just killed the planet, maybe one of you can tell me what's... Because between assassin droids, a Sith Lord that looks like he sleeps with vibroblades, and being target practice for a Republic warship, I was better off in my cell.
The Republic warship was the Harbinger. It was seized on its way to Telos by the Sith. They sought you, Jedi. Yes, to aid in the recovery effort there. Many roads lead to Telos, including ours.
Not like we have much of a choice, the Peragus astrogation charts being what they are.
It is where we must go, and where the Harbinger was bound before our unfortunate encounter on...
Okay. I've heard looks like I didn't
You were
get my
difficult
tracks
to
well.
find, but coincidence was on our side. When I learned that you were on the vessel, I knew the Sith would not be... When we intercepted the Harbinger, it was crippled, drifting in space. It was unknown to me, however, the Sith were already on board. Just as we made the jump to hyperspace, they fired upon us, nearly destroying the... Whatever occurred on board the Harbinger had rendered you unconscious. Though your thoughts were faint, I was still able to find you.
That's an unusual set of coincidences.
True. But as one trained in the... I do not know how the Ebon Hawk was able to make it to... Be silent. Where?
He says you repaired the ship and got us to
Repaired
Peragus.
this ship, my eye. Next thing you know, it's gonna claim credit for saving... If that little noisemaker says it repaired the ship once, then it can prove it by doing it again. Go on!
Because you are the last of the Jedi.
Not a Jedi
Whatever
Knight.
lies you tell yourself are of no consequence.
Sith
The
believe you can be a
Sith-
Jedi Knight, and that's all that matters.
The Jedi Civil War destroyed the Jedi. By the war's end, barely 100 Jedi remained. Many fell in battle.
The Jedi who survived
Many
happened.
Jedi blamed the teachings of the Jedi. The Jedi Academy on Dantooine is nothing more than and the Jedi Temple on Coruscant lies empty. The
Any survivors live, we need to warn
but they
them.
are Jedi no longer. If the Sith have not...
This is all fun foreshadowing.
That is not an easy question to answer. This threat is greater than you know.
Okay. Alright, I've heard
I
enough.
wound
Hey, don't stop your long, boring rants on my account.
Also in private, we will be mercifully free from the opinions of imbeciles and fools.
Look, not like I care or anything, but you might want to go check on our passenger.
Okay. Alright, now we're finally to a point where we can save. Yay, lots of light side points. We're gonna save. Alright guys, so this is where we're gonna end our game for tonight. Thanks for everyone who hung out. We're past Peragus. We're now on our way to Telos. I love this game, I do. I know I rant about it a lot. And definitely has its flaws. But I enjoy the game. For what it is. Good night, G-Beast, and thank you once again, Darth Malgus, for the follow. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you guys later. Once again, I'm Retro.
I'm Wolf.
And we will see you guys another time. Good night.
Bye.